And do you think, obviously, technology and social media platforms have exploded over the last, 15 years specifically?
Mhm.
Do you think it's got more complex to plan a consumer show more so than a trade show?
I think that what we've seen over the years is that consumer shows used to have real longevity with brands, in the same way that trade shows, trade shows been going for 30 years, 50 years in that sector. And you used to see that with consumer events, that you used to see Clothes Show Live that would be going for years, Top Gear Live would be going, Gadget Show Live. All of those events are no longer running. But I think that in the consumer market, that you're more susceptible to the drop-off point going really quickly. When something falls out of fashion, then it will go, and it's very difficult to resurrect it, which means that there are more opportunities in consumer, probably, although there are opportunities in B2B and B2C. But consumer, if something comes along, we've seen this with Media10. We launched This Morning Live, and we did the Love Island a roadshow type thing. And those things come along, and that requires creativity. But they may only be around for 2 or 3 years before the bubble bursts on that particular program. Talent leaves, the program gets taken off air, so you're at the mercy of that. B2B is more solid, but B2B, someone can come up against you. You've always got to make sure that you are number one with the association, number one with the media partners, and that you are doing everything, as I said earlier, to make sure that people are getting off behind their desks and coming to your exhibition. This is the age-old argument, I suppose, what's simpler or what is easier to market, B2B or B2C. They both have those challenges. To get 250,000 people through the door to the Idle Home Show when we acquired it in 2010 was an enormous achievement. 100,000 more people year on year, 7 less days. It was remarkable, and it was the best few weeks of my career, probably. But then when you see 20,000 people at a B2B show, then you think, wow, that is a huge achievement to get that many professionals, because they're not about transactional. That's not the measure of the success. So both are equally challenging. Both have, I'd love to be able to say that one was easier than the other, but on the night before any exhibition, I'm not sleeping as much, knowing that when that ribbon is cut, when those doors are open, are people going to flood through? Unfortunately, over the last 23 years, there's probably been a handful of occasions that they haven't. And counting back, I was trying to do this in my head, the amount of visitors that have come to an event that I've marketed is probably, I don't know, 6-7 million people.
Yeah.
And that gives me an immense amount of pride to have made that trigger point for all of those people over the years. But to get 8,000 people to go to a niche vertical B2B show like our 100% optical show is, gives nothing but pride to do that, as well as getting 250,000 people to the Idle Home Show.